Okay, I'm going to talk you through replacing the wires on one of these masks. So I looked up this mask and I had stitched through the wire right here at the center seam. And you could tell because there was the stitching right there. So I'm using my little bitty scissors and I'm cutting that out. I'm dropping the phone while I'm doing my recording because that's really fancy. And let's see. Okay. So I'm going to get these stitches all cut out. Right in here. All right, then I'm going to look here and I'm going to see what this end looks like. That's a little narrow. It's a little thicker here. So I'm going to feed the wire. Just thread it through, push it a little bit from the back, hold on to it. I can feel that this one feels like it was a twist tie that I used to make this nosed wire. I used all kinds of things to make nose wires. Okay, and here's the little twist tie coming out. Now here is the new improved wire going in. And I just feed it through. And it went right through. Lots of times it'll hang up at this center seam, but it didn't this time. So I'm going to feed it through here. And in this case, that's all I need to do. And when I wear it now, I'll be able to shape this wire around my nose and have a much better outcome. All right, this mask is a pleated front mask. And it's got stitching all the way along here. When I feel this, it feels like it's a pipe cleaner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out about this much of the stitching. It's a little hard for me to see the stitching and keep it in the camera as I've got it balanced here on the salt shaker. I just use these little skinny scissors. And, oh, see, and I can't find the seam at all on that side. So I'm going to use the tip of the scissors and pull the threads out. Pull the threads out. Now this one I'm going to have to reach into the pocket and I can reach in there and I can feel, oh, looky here. This one had a pipe cleaner for the nose piece. And that same, alrighty, I got interrupted making this last video. I pulled the stitches out of this area right here with the little bitty scissors, and then I turned it upside down like so, get my wire, and I can go through here and, oops, I do this outside of the camera. Try it again. I go through here and just fish the wire through. The wire tends to hang up. See, there's this little crook in it, and that tends to hang up on stitches if you're not careful. But if you just ask it to behave a little differently, it usually will. Okay, so I'm having to, see, this one's hung up on some stitches. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to shape the wire back this way and give it a shove back into, there it is. Okay, back into this hole, and this wire, this new wonderful wire, is flexible enough that I can do that. Now this is going to be up. I just pulled on it, stretched it out. It's going to work. Okay, so there's another one with the wire in it, and I did it by taking out the stitching right there. What I will do, because I have the sewing machine, is I can re-stitch this. What you all can do is you can turn it over to this side and put just a little drop of super glue on the stitching, and that ought to hold it. Okay, third one. Every set of masks I made, I used a slightly different pattern. On this one, I stitched here, made the casing, came over, stitched here. So I'm going to check out the length. All right, so this one isn't going to fit exactly. Now, if I were you and doing this at home, I would trim this wire so that it fit into this space and turn the ends under like this so you don't poke yourself. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these threads. Actually occurring hole, I'm actually going to make one. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to cut just a little piece, little hole in the fabric. Okay, so I have a little bitty hole, and I'm going to feed my wire out through this hole. Whoa! Huh. That couldn't have been comfortable. I'm pretty sure that was a twist tie like this one, but you can see that that wire would be pokey and you wouldn't like wearing it. All right, so I'm going to take my new wire and I'm going to poke it through that little bitty hole that I made. It's going to take a slightly bigger hole. Okay. I'm going to feed it through. And I'm going to feed it all the way past and then back it down a little bit. And there I have the new wire inside the old casing. And what I can do, because I have a sewing machine, is I can sew this. But if I didn't have a sewing machine, I would glue it with just a little bit of super glue on the back side, and that will hold your stitching.